एक शॉट लो, ट्रायल शॉट लो. I am Swamy Vardhanand. Hindu Dharma is a Sanatan Dharma, and because of that, all dharms at one time or other borrowed from us. It doesn't look like it, but all the Abrahamic religions have got their important parts that come from Sanatan Dharma. Auto. The Queen of Sheba is a important myth or story actually coming from Ethiopia. Now, this story is reflected in the Bible and the Qur'an. Both are nearly the same, but there are some vital differences. And here, the Qur'an shows up that that part of at least of the Qur'an comes straight from our Hindu religious books. I am now reading from the Bible. In the Bible it is given, and she came to Solomon and told him all that was in her mind, and Solomon answered all her questions. There was nothing to be hidden from the king that he could not explain to her. Now, this is essentially what the Bible says. There is nothing beyond that. So, but the Quran story is a little bit different. And here is where the Hinduism creeps into it, because this passage is probably written about 2500 years back, whereas the Quran is about 1500 years back. So here Quran reveals that they have actually picked up something from the Hindu religion. I am not reading the Quran. Now in the Quran, all those things they said before is already there, but there is this essential difference. And then she entered the palace, and from there they saw it. She thought it was a deep pool of water and bared her legs. But Solomon explained to her that it is just a palace paved with glass. And she said, "Oh Lord, I have wronged myself." So here the scene is that Queen Sheba enters the palace of Solomon, and there she sees water, and she raises her dress, but actually there is no water, it's absolutely dry. This scene I'll show to you that actually comes from Mahabharata. Now this is the scene, everybody actually seen this. In this scene what happens is Duryodhan comes to the palace of the Pandavas, and when he enters the palace, he sees on the road a pool of water, and he walks carefully through it. But actually it is dry. This is a unique scene. When we saw this scene and when we read that scene in the Mahabharata, we think it is a uniquely Hindu scene. And actually this goes back about 6,000 years. So this story goes back 6,000 years, and suddenly about 4,000 years later this story appears in the Quran. It is for the listeners to judge that what is happening here. So thank you for listening, guys. This is Swamy Vardhanand signing off.